Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Kicking Back podcast. I'm joined here today with the fantastic Danny Addison, who is a singer-songwriter, friend of ours, wonderful human being. I'm also joined here with the delightful wolf at the back, Matthew Campbell again. How are you? You good?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you, Matt?
Very good, man. Lovely to see Dan again. It's been way too long.
Ages.
How long are we talking?
Months,
10
man.
months. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember when the gig was. It was cold.
Yeah.
January, February.
Cold and dark.
Nearly exactly a year ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, for the...
Brutal, man. Brutal. So, for people at home, Dan, who do not know who you are, would you like to give them just a little zhuzh, a little
Yeah, well, I write songs. I kind of do a lot of different things, but I'm a songwriter and a string arranger and multi-instrumentalist, and I'm a musician, I guess, is the broad term, as we all are. We're all everyone here. And I kind of relatively recently decided to spend most of my time writing songs, so that's what I've been doing over lockdown in isolation.
And how's that been?
It's been all right, yeah. I think, I've been incredibly lucky, relatively. Been able to sort of get a lot of things done that I think just normality was stopping. So, because of work and things like that, I came straight out of college and just trying to gig as much as possible and pay rent and everything. And I think it can just sort of get away from you if you're trying to, as we all know, like we're all, gigging musicians. Well, you've changed your entire career,
Used to be a gigging,
which is sick. But because we've worked together in lockdown and that's been great. And I don't know if that would have been, possible.
Yeah, man.
Probably not. Like, I think about that quite a lot. I think, like, would I have even done that if lockdown hadn't happened? I don't know.
Who knows, man? Yeah, so we've done 2 videos thus far, haven't we?
Well, 3. We did one twice.
Oh, yeah. Well, people don't need to know that, do they?
That was me though, because I was just like, I saw this thing and I was like, oh.
But that's stuff for your new EP, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you've been working on at the moment with your brother?
Yeah. And so like 4 song EP to be released as soon as we are finished. There's no like set date. Well, there was a set date and it's been pushed back every month. So yeah,
these things always take longer than you expect, man.
Yeah.
It's always hard to know when to call it a day. Do you know what I mean? Do you have what's your process in terms of writing and then recording, and then do you have like a particular structure for doing each one, or is it different for every song?
Not really. I thought I did, and then I was like, I think because I worked in bands for ages, so like I was in a band for 4 years with guys from college, who you all know, so I guess I was kind of used to coming at songs from a lot of different angles. Like making decisions was kind of like not debating. That sounds so sort of political. It wasn't like it was like a fun debate,
a discussion.
It was it was like, so there was 6 of us in this group, and it got to the point where almost every decision, it was kind of like there was 6 slightly different opinions on that thing. So I think when it came to me like doing it myself, just like on my own, that was how I tried to approach it. Like I was quite critical of stuff, and I would try and come at it from different angles and say like, oh, what would Reese do? And that was really, really good. Like that was amazing to be able to sit in with these guys, because everyone knows something you don't.
Yeah.
and then you got 5 other people who have just lived completely different lives, and then they can just offer things that you would never even think of. So I was trying to, like, it's obviously impossible when you're on your own, but I think at least attempting it, you get to a place that you wouldn't otherwise get to.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's my technique. But yeah, ideas come and go. Voice memos. I mean,
Yeah, geez.
It's got to be done.
every time.
Something.
That's like the best tool, I think, for hear something or just playing guitar and I'm like, oh, I don't want to forget it. And there's been so many times where I haven't had my phone and I'm like, fuck, I've forgotten that idea. So yeah, just recording everything.
Yeah.
And going through it like 6 months later and being like, oh, I should use that. Why have I not used that? Yeah.
I love your like lyric writing. I don't know if there's a way that you approach that in terms of like, do you draw influences from particular things, or is it just like this song feels like that and then you start writing in it and then it becomes about something? Or?
Yeah, like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Boosted my ego. Skyrocketed. Yeah. Well, like, yeah, this sounds probably like the worst way. And like, there's probably loads of lyricists who would be like telling me I'm an idiot for doing this. But like, if I'm playing, because it usually starts with guitar, like, you know, some kind of harmonic structure.
Yeah.
That's like really vague. And then I'll kind of be singing a melody that feels like it works. And then, I don't know, like certain words will pop out. This sort of feels like that word should come there. Like
Right.
the word whatever.
Is it like phonetics sort of?
Kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of like there with my guitar and Jenny, my girlfriend's just sort of like doing something and I'm just there like, and I'll sing like a bit of a sentence and she'll just be like, what are the lyrics? And I'll be like, I haven't written them yet. And it'll be like, and then it will sort of gradually come together. Because I think, like, I love bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, that was, my brother listened to Red Hot Chili, my older brother listened to Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I sort of listened, got the Hang Me Down CDs, you know, like White Stripes, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I think with Red Hot Chili Peppers in particular, I had no idea what Anthony Kiedis is singing about or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just be listening to like the sound of the words, and I think like the words he chose sounded really good, and it never really bothered me that I didn't know what the song was about.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now it doesn't really bother me when I'm not trying to be really clear about what I'm singing about. And that's not to say, you know, because I love listening to songwriters who are, you know, quite explicit with their lyrics, but I definitely, I just, you know, some words just sound good. You know, when you sing them in a certain register, or you mess with the syllables a bit or whatever, you mess with the rhythm of the word. So I'm quite interested in that, and I've never been asked. So I'm just thinking about it now.
I spend so much time thinking about that at the moment. Especially, I always talk about Justin Vernon, the guy from Bon Iver.
Right. Yeah.
But I like listening to him just all the time, man. Like 1 until 3 a.m. It's just like Justin Vernon time. Just like digging like old MySpace videos and stuff. It's just like
really,
I've been absolutely.
Yeah.
Not on MySpace, on YouTube, but
oh right,
I'm not that. That'd be weird, man. Yeah, just like looking them up.
I want to get on MySpace.
They did a series of videos, and he does a lot of solo stuff as well. And just thinking about the words he picks, because he kind of, it's like he'll pick certain the song, when you actually break it down, you go all the way with it, it's just like a sound on a note. You know what I mean? And it's just like every word he sings on a certain note. Even with R.E. Stacks, when you think about it, like every time he sings a high note, it's basically the same word. And even if it's not, he just turns it into the same word. He's just basically like hammering home, this like sound is like, that's the song, that's what you're getting kind of thing. So yeah, I've been getting really, it's like a rabbit hole once you start realising it, isn't it? You start like breaking down other songs, you realise like everyone does it. It's like, oh my God, like this is...
Yeah, I listened to his, I don't know if you know Song Exploder.
What's
it's
that?
Like it breaks. It gets you. You get an artist, and they will themselves break down their own song, and I think there was one with him and his producer. I can't remember his name. And I remember this one bit he was talking about. It was he had like this one line which kept coming to mind, and he just kept singing that same thing with this musical idea, and he's like, he couldn't like finish it though. And his producer or someone said, "That's fine, just use that one line." And so he did, and I can't remember the name of the song, but because I remember talking to someone being like, and they said to me, because I was just showing them some lyrics I'd written, and they were like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And they were like, "Well, you have to know, like, I have to know what it means as the listener." And I was like, "Oh shit, like I need to go away and edit it." But then I was like, actually, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't care about that as a listener. So,
No, I like touching on the Bon Iver stuff. Like, I listened to that since I was like a young lad, and I don't know like any of the words to his songs. But again, it's like saying that the phonetics, but also then I think if you don't, you can kind of apply your own meaning to stuff then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think if it's an open-ended book, people can get much more out of it.
That's exactly it. Like, I don't want everyone to know, because it's fun to put your own story to it.
Yeah.
I mean, even I think everyone does this. You listen to a really great album, you kind of imagine yourself, you are that person, and you are going through the same thing. But if their experience is just so alien to you that you would just never have gone through it, then you would never feel that, I don't think. Whereas if you can actually put yourself in their music, then you would actually be able to imagine you're going through that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my...
Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever found like any of the lyrics that you write, you write them, you do this process, and then later down the line you think, oh, that's about this, or that's,
like find the meaning of the song?
Yeah, or just later on you're like, oh, actually I was subconsciously, I've definitely done that before. It's like, I was subconsciously writing about this thing, but at the time you didn't realise it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm writing a song right now, and I don't know what I want it to be about. And I'm kind of... I think it's like sometimes you don't know how you're feeling until you... so there was a song I was trying to write over lockdown, which is on... it's called Tribe. It's on the new EP.
Woo woo.
Hear it in a minute. Bit of a plug. And I got to this point where I was like, I can't write anything. It was really pissing me off because it was lockdown, and I felt like I should be really productive, and it was really annoying me. Like, it was like I was like forcing myself to write music, which is probably not great. And because I was getting annoyed and kind of angry, it kind of showed me how I felt about a lot of stuff. And I suddenly realised that I was actually getting a bit annoyed about this thing or this thing. And then that ended up becoming the meaning of the song. So I think like that had never happened. I'd never had like quite a strong emotion. It'd never been the experiencing that emotion that had allowed me to find the meaning of the song. So that was quite interesting. So I sort of thought like, oh, should I just like get angry a lot, or just be really sad? Because like some people say, oh, you can't write if you're happy. Like I've heard people say that, and I was like, oh no, because you have to be like, if you're happy, then you don't feel the need to write.
Yeah, it's hard to write happy music, man.
Yeah,
that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah,
it's like you said, it's way easier to do it if you're feeling a bit down, a bit sad.
You can just be like
always on acoustic guitar as well.
Yeah,
open tuning.
a bit of man feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's funny with Tribe, that new single that you've got, because I feel like that's quite.
I've heard that a few times, haven't you?
I've heard that a lot of times, Dan. But it's interesting because it's quite I wouldn't say a departure from your old stuff, but it's quite unlike your other stuff.
It's got so angry.
So angry. It's the scariest song I've ever noticed. It's a great tune, man. It sounds awesome. Your brother
Thank you.
and you did a fantastic job, and mixing it and put it together. Like when you first sent it, I was like, whoa.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. It was. I mean, I'm a big advocate of your stuff, and you guys at home should be too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a quick little plug, Dan. If people want to find you on the interwebs, where can they find you? And look straight down that sweet camera and tell them.
You can find me at Danny Addison Music on Instagram, Danny Addison Music on Facebook, and Danny Addison on Spotify. I had to think there. I was like, what's my name? Those three. I think they're the main three. I also have a LinkedIn, but no.
Do people use LinkedIn? Like, I
yes, they do.
Yeah, right. This is interesting because I've never I've got an account and I get emails all the time like, oh, this person wants to be your friend and all this. But like, what do people actually use it for?
I think it's I think it's like big in PR or jobs like that. Like,
right.
Yeah, because we've got I think there's like different social medias for different
areas.
Yeah, because Jenny was in PR. My girlfriend was in PR. She's kind of, she still does it, but she's like retraining at the moment. And I remember, I think I asked her that same thing. I was like, "Oh, do people use LinkedIn?" And she said, "Oh, like a lot of people in PR have it." So yeah. I think
like it's like professional people.
Yeah.
Real people, man.
Yeah, it's very
real suit and tie people.
I've got like 6,000 connections on mine. That's the name of it. That was just for a uni project more than anything else. So, yeah, it's like my LinkedIn empire. I don't think I've ever posted.
He's holding it down.
Yeah.
So popular.
I should go back on it and see what.
Yeah, people are probably crying out for you to put something on there. Man. Waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. When you said do people use LinkedIn, Matt was just like, Matt bristled. He was like,
what, LinkedIn?
Oh, LinkedIn.
Let me talk to you about LinkedIn. Try to find Justin Byrne on LinkedIn.
That's hilarious.
Jeez.
So, okay, how would you describe your sound to people that haven't heard you before? God. Sorry to throw that on you.
This question. No.
Or at least artists that you draw influence from or sound similar to. Just give people like the ballpark,
It's like, I think broadly it's folk. So I've just been accepted onto a folk mentorship program with English Folk Expo. And so, which I was actually quite surprised by, because I guess I'd thought it wouldn't be folk, because I'd applied for it because I thought it was like a great opportunity, but I didn't know if they would listen to it and go, oh yeah, that's clearly folk. And they obviously thought it fit under, because I guess folk is such a broad genre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say, and then because I kind of grew up playing classical music, like I played violin pretty much my whole life, and I played it in Young Monarch, the band I was in, for 4 years, and then I really wanted to kind of take that and so there's a lot of like strings and stuff in my music and now, so it's kind of like classical elements in there. I don't know what, because I used the term like neoclassical once I was like submitting a song for something, and they came back to me and said, "It's not neoclassical, mate." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." I thought neoclassical was like where you put classical stuff in.
I think that's
it was Matt. It was Matt that responded.
Neoclassical reminds me of like Yngwie Malmsteen, like shred. Kind of that when it was neoclassical, that's where I'd go, but I don't. Maybe that's just guitar. See, neoclassical guitar. That's what people do.
Okay, so I thought it was like classical, but like the weird shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the newer, more
the weird shit.
like sort of like strange score, like what they called, where it's like visual scores and
yeah.
I thought that was neoclassical. I don't know.
I saw the word and I was like, oh wow, I found my sound. And this guy, Matt, crushed my dreams. Yeah. So folk, alternative folk.
Yeah.
Classical folk, if that's a thing. And then with this, with the new song, it's kind of not rock. It's not folk rock, but it's getting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to say
I don't like genres, man.
I was going to say more poppy, but Yeah, I hate. It's such a horrible question. I shouldn't have asked you this question.
No, it's fine.
But it's
I have
so
to know.
it's
'cause
so hard to like section your music off into one particular
Yeah,
thing.
it's really hard. I like talking about it though, because one day
You'll figure
I'll have
it
a
out.
conversation and it'll be like, oh, I know what my genre is, and then I can put it on my bio, my Spotify bio, and everyone will know what I do.
So for now, it's Danny Addison, genre unknown.
Genreless, yeah,
But that's good because that adds a bit of mystery.
it does. And
The
people
man
are
of
like,
mystery.
ooh, what is this? And they'll click play and add to my monthly listens.
You'll get rich.
I'll get rich.
So much money from that sweet
Oh.
Spotify plays.
What a deal, man.
That 0.0.
I'm so glad that Spotify play and pay musicians so well for tracks.
I saw this thing the other day, and it was like minimum. It was like it like broke down all the monthly expenses. It was like rent, bills, food, whatever, and it sort of like had the amount of plays that it would
cost
to pay for it. And I was like, "Ooh, all right, that's my number." Try and go for that number, because like it's I don't really know how unrealistic it is, like getting 100,000 plays, because I haven't been doing it very long. Like releasing songs. This is my second EP, so I feel like it's hard to get that. But then there are a lot of people who have 200,000.
I feel like that always comes down to like good management and like good PR. This. So can we just go back to this folk expo?
Oh yeah.
So what is it exactly? Is it they do like for you as an artist?
So they assign you. So they do a lot of things. So they have workshops and stuff. So there's me and 3 others.
Yeah.
And they give you they assign you with a mentor. So I've been signed with someone called Andy Bell, who's head of Hudson Records, who are a record label. They specialize in acoustic music primarily.
Okay.
And yeah, so we've all been assigned with these mentors, and we have monthly conversations with them. They kind of talk us through our plans, and kind of advise us on good things to do to get there, and then so we're playing at festivals as well as part of it. So
nice.
Cambridge Folk Festival this year.
If it's happening,
it's now 2021.
Is it happening?
Well, it's in August, so
You'd hope.
I hope, yeah. Focus Wales is another one,
Oh, yeah.
and Manchester Folk Festival is
That's
the other one. So I really hope they happen.
Yeah.
Because Cambridge Folk Festival, I played it, was it 2 years ago, with Chloe Foy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was really, really cool, and I was sort of on stage thinking, oh man, this would be so cool to play, because I was there as her. I was playing piano.
You were playing piano.
I was shocked. She asked me to play piano. I was like, oh no! So I had to learn
Piano.
and learn piano. I kind of played a bit, but guitar and violin. So I was kind of had all this gear, and I remember sat there being like, oh, I would love to play this festival, and then a friend, do you know Adi? You know Adi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she messaged me and said, you might be interested in this thing. And thank God she did. I'm just so glad that she messaged me, because I applied just
On a
whim basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they accepted me on, and they had said, oh, this is basically exactly what I needed to have people tell me what I was doing that was bad, and like, what's your genre? That's it's quite quite good for me, because I've never, being in bands, I never had to sort of take that. I was one of 6, and then I could sort of just coast a little bit, and now I feel like I have to do all the stuff, and that's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to do. That's the stuff that I like hate.
Yeah, it's
music.
yeah.
It's kind of it's the boring bit, isn't it?
Other side, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the main reasons that I stopped doing music stuff. Apart from horrible function gigs,
Yeah.
like that.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, guys.
That's my bread and butter.
It just wasn't for me.
It wasn't for you, right? Yeah.
Because I don't have to do any of that with the video stuff. Which we've talked about this before. It kind of like does itself. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I make a video for someone, and then you put that video, and then that promotes itself.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it.
It's wicked. Everyone shares your work all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's the dream.
Which I will be doing. I'm going to be sharing your video, tagging you everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome, man.
Cannot wait. I actually cannot wait to put it out and share it. It's been so long.
It was an interesting day, that filming that music video.
The Tribe one.
The Tribe one.
Yeah.
That was
an interesting day. Long day.
A long day.
I think we got really lucky.
We did, didn't we? We looked out, and for people that haven't seen the video yet, we're working with these two kids doing this like narrative thing, like in a forest and all this. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to ruin.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
The concept.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've not like worked with kids before since doing the film and stuff. Anyway, so that I was a bit nervous about that. Because you never know how kids are going to be on the day. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it was the dad who said to me, he made a joke like, never work with kids or animals. And I was like, oh, what? Is that a thing? I was on the day. I was like, oh, fuck. No, I'm joking. But it was fine. Because, yeah, there were so many things that sort of just worked on the day that I didn't expect. Like the weather, because you just never guarantee that the weather's going to be good. So, and then we found this little house, because and
it's like an abandoned like sheep hut or something.
Totally abandoned, didn't belong to anyone.
No, definitely didn't.
Weren't. We definitely were not trespassing.
Absolutely, we'd never do that.
We would never, ever. And then, I think we went a bit over the amount of time we thought we would, but then it
always does, man.
Yeah.
It always does.
Got the nice sunset at the end, which is good.
Is it worth explaining what's the kind of storyline?
Dan, well, you came up with the concept, didn't you? So maybe you should sort of. Why don't you explain what the song's about a little bit and maybe the concept?
It's kind of about when people get possessed by an idea, again, I want to like not be too explicit because I like the idea of people putting their own thing on it. But for me, it's when I have to think. I can't remember. I did have a meaning. I guess, it's called Tribe, so it's kind of like a warlike thing, I guess. It's like feeling like you need to be on the right side of the argument, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, it doesn't matter whether what you're saying is right. It matters whether you're on the right side of whether you're agreeing with the right people.
Like pack mentality, sort of. Like,
yeah.
And
just kind of like the frustration with that. And that's like, that covers so many different things because it covers like, personal, like when you break up with someone, if you have mutual friends, suddenly, there's...
Gotta pick and choose.
Huh?
You gotta pick and choose.
There's that. So yeah, it's about that, and then it's about all sorts. So
it's a very like current issue, isn't it? I mean, it's always been a current issue, but now like everyone can have access to that just straight away. In fact, everyone does, especially now everyone's locked away, so people spend more time on the phones. But what I find really funny with that kind of thing, it's like pack mentality and stuff, is most people spend more time just trying to win the argument, man. And it's not like they might be right, but I don't think they even care at a point. It's just like, how can I make this other guy look wrong? And especially when people start insulting each other, like, what does that have to do with this argument? And
it becomes about
really
everything rather than the
exactly. It's really strange thing to witness just as a bystander, isn't it? Because you can see it so clearly that it's like the need to be right that people have. And I don't know, maybe it's probably always been there, but I don't know whether it gets heightened by social media, the fact that things are kind of more anonymous. You know, people see your name, but they don't actually know anything about you. So you can have those arguments.
They get braver and they can say they say stuff they would never say.
Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? When you actually think about it, it's like, yeah. I think every town, I know my hometown has one, Chorlton has one, just like the kind of moan group, you know, like Chorlton Moan. Those places are great for that. You know, I highly recommend anyone just logging into that thing and just
so funny, man. Any Manchester people, I would highly recommend getting on the Chorlton Facebook group, because my goodness, there's some funny stuff on there.
Really?
People just lose their minds at each other.
You want that?
Oh, right. I don't know.
Got some hot water, Brad.
I did get in some hot water, Brad. Right. Okay, I'll tell you. Let me tell you your story now. Right. There once was a lovely cat that used to walk around near our house.
Oh, this is a real thing.
This is a real story, man.
Yeah.
This is a real story. Okay, it was a very lovely cat. He used to come in the house sometimes. And he's like, "Oh, hello, mate. How you doing?" You know, nice, real nice cat. And then one day, I was going to go to work. It was about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I looked out onto the balcony of our kitchen, onto the road, just admiring the view. And there, this cat was lying on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, what's he doing?" It was a nice sunny day. I was like, maybe he's just chilling in the middle of the road. You know, it's cool. I was like, I stood there for like 30 seconds. Like, oh, it's not moving. That's weird. So obviously go down. Someone's hit the poor little sod. So I get the doormat from in front of the house, and I pick him up, take him off the road. Oh, poor little thing. Went round the neighbours. I was like, "Is this your cat? So sorry. No one knew you." I wasn't like cracking. I wasn't like offering it up to people.
Take it.
Is yours?
Anyone?
No one could. No one.
Not supposed to be a funny story, is it?
No, it's not. It is kind of funny though. So, and then it was like, right, I've got to go to work. So I was like, right, I'm going to leave him near the house. And what I'll do is I'll take a picture. He wasn't, like, before I say this, he wasn't like messed up or anything. He looked perfectly normal.
Right, yeah.
Maybe his head was a little bit like, you know, but apart from that, he looked, you know, almost good as new.
Right, yeah.
So I took a picture, not an offensive picture in any way at all. And I put it on the Chorlton group. I was like, "So sorry to do this. You know, I've got to go to work. I found this cat."
They would want to know.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you know what? I was like, "Here's my number. If anyone, you know, if this is someone's whatever." My God, the shitstorm that came my way. It was ridiculous, man. The people were just like, "I can't believe you posted this on here," la, 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 just like proper going at me. And like then obviously the other people were like, "Well, he's just trying to let people know." And honestly, we're talking like
I didn't mean to hit him. You know, why are you going?
Like 300, 400 people just like going at it. And this is for like several days afterwards. Luckily, some very nice woman from like a cat rescue place came and took him and sorted it out. But yeah, I saw a very ugly side of the Chorlton Facebook group. So yeah, that was
their breakfast like.
Yeah, it wasn't a horrible picture, honestly.
Yeah,
it was like I was just trying to be a good citizen.
Yeah, I think
people
that's fair.
Absolutely shat all over me.
Oh, mate.
But I was just laughing a little bit, also crying a little bit because I was like, "Why are people so horrible?" But like,
funny because it's not about like you putting the picture up, is it? It's about that someone's cat's died.
Yeah, exactly.
They've made it about.
Yeah, exactly.
What about me?
What about me?
Yeah.
It's all about the story of me, isn't it? That people,
So that put the world to rights, I think.
I was trying to be a nice person, you know, and
I think that's good.
That's what you got to try, though, haven't you?
You got to be, kind of like brave, haven't you, to put it up and be like, you know.
Because because it wasn't like I could have just said, "Hi, I found a grey furry cat on my road." It could be anyone's cat. Do you know what I mean? You've got
like shotgun.
I'll have that. So it's just like I just thought it was the right thing to do, and then it got ugly, man. Yeah. It got ugly. I suppose like one big issue with social media as well is like I always find this hard is like the inability to be like sarcastic or have like nuance with words. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah, it's so difficult with like
you can read
stop
it
and a comma.
Yeah, like you can read it whatever way you want and take it out whatever way you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big. I think that's a big issue in terms of like we talk about like is it called partisanship where people are like stuck on either side?
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and sound intelligent.
I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
And have you seen that? Well, those things where you take a sentence and you put like emphasis on, you change the emphasis of each word in turn of the sentence, and it completely changes the meaning of the sentence. Have you seen that?
No, what is that?
It's like I can't remember this. Just you can Google it afterwards. It's like it's really interesting. I'd never seen it, but you can just you take like a sentence and someone has just like underlined like the first word and then underlined the second word, and if you emphasize like that word, the sentence means a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's just what people do all the time with what you were saying on social media. They might think you were joking, or I don't know, even, which obviously you'd have to be quite strange to do. But
it's like the same thing. It works great with lyrics and with music, like the fact that people take their own meaning. But then on the flip side, it's maybe like humans just really bad at reading into words because everything's just like the body language and everything else comes along with it.
I mean, now if I did find a cat, I'm trying to decide what I would do.
Well, you know where to not put it.
On Chilton, what is it? The
Chilton Facebook group.
The Chilton Moaners.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's a very good point, George, actually. Okay. So I did this thing with the cat, and then I really shouldn't laugh, but oh my God.
So any cat owners, sorry.
Yeah, I like cats, man.
I forgot about this.
Right? Someone, it was a few weeks later, put on the most graphic picture of a dead cat I've ever. It's like guts out and.
Why?
Because basically doing the same thing, like, I found this cat.
Oh, right, it was, yeah.
I was like, I couldn't believe it, man. But it felt like the comments and stuff were like equally as heated about it. It felt like they would just argue about anything, man.
I feel like, though, if the cat, if it's really graphic, maybe he shouldn't have put it up.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because
but then they kicked off the same amount.
Yeah.
They're just getting sick of dead cats.
People are just putting them up there all the time. Starting a trend.
Yeah.
Hashtag dead cats, Jordan.
Yeah.
Whose cat's this?
Well, yeah, you got to be smart about what dead cat pictures you're putting up. I learned that a long time ago.
When I was a young lad.
Yeah, when I was. That's.
It's mad.
See, I spoke to someone recently who went through their entire social media and just deleted anything that was like controversial, could cause any kind of offense. They went through everything because it's like it's so weird now. Like everything you do is recorded forever.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Maybe me laughing about this cat thing is going to haunt me.
Gonna bite you in there. It might bite me in the ass too, man.
Maybe it will, but. You can't live your life trying to censor everything you do. You just wouldn't do anything, would you? But
exactly.
Self-censorship is a weird thing, man.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like people would be so bored if you didn't have anything remotely different going on or anything remotely colourful. So like, what do people want? Do you know what I mean? It's like, and are they going to be surprised if like they dig this up and like, oh wow, Dan's a human. He like laughed about this shit.
Yeah.
So it's a really funny thing, isn't it? It would get so boring if everyone just censored everything they were up to.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that, and I think I kind of don't post anything controversial or.
What are you laughing about? Dear, sorry.
It's all right.
James and Georgia.
Sorry, we're just actually looking up some of the Chilton group at the moment.
Actually, I was thinking.
Yeah, come here and look. Let's go to camera 4. Let's have a look.
Hang on. You can see everything.
Okay.
You can see all my stuff.
So what? You were just having a little dig through, were you?
Yeah, I was just there's a lot about cats and kittens.
Ah.
Well,
that seems
So your one will still be on here.
But it was probably about a year ago, I think.
But yeah. That's not great, is it?
What does it say?
Got a few new recipes to try during lockdown and sick of cooking dog.
So people are laughing at that, right? You didn't get any positive feedback.
No,
I got
man.
loads of laughs.
To be fair, there's some people on that Facebook group that are really funny. Like,
No, really.
like really stuff you shouldn't laugh
Gold.
at, but my goodness, it's
That's
funny.
sometimes the funniest stuff, though, isn't it?
Always a
It's always the funniest. What is that? Like, why is the most like wrong base, horrible stuff just so funny, man?
No.
It's because you shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
soon as you hear
Everyone's
it,
thought it before, maybe, and just thought it's
Yeah.
like you need to know or whatever. So when it comes out, it's like, what the?
Yeah.
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 Shock. isn't it?
School is the worst when you're not supposed to laugh.
Mhm.
You shouldn't laugh.
oh man, yeah.
Yeah, and someone would do something, I'll say it was just, it's the worst thing
It's a
ever.
weird thing, isn't it?
But the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. Man, we've covered some crazy topics.
I
already.
know.
It's mad, isn't it?
wild.
For anyone that has just joined us, we are here with the lovely Danny Addison, or Dan Addison, whatever you want to call him. Dan's going to be doing a little performance for us in a bit with some songs from your new EP and one song from an old EP.
An old P.
An old P. If you want to find Danny on social media, it's all Danny Addison for most of it. Yeah. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, we're still doing this on a donation basis. So I'll get James to put a link in our Twitch discussion. For people that are listening to us in the future on Spotify, there is a video version of this. So if you want to see our lovely, lovely faces, then please head over to our RecRooms YouTube channel to check this out.
Woo.
It's all very exciting.
I'm very excited.
It's great, man. So I'm going to ask this question because I ask everyone this question.
Oh, no.
Okay. It's an easy one.
Yeah.
Kind of. Requires a little bit of thinking. Just your desert island discs or albums that you think are, solid gold.
Oh, I mean...
And it can be, I'll just say, it can be like, great hits or whatever. It doesn't have to be like, or just artists
the original.
Artists that you'd recommend, Dan, that you've been listening to recently or things that you've been listening to a long time. Give some people stuff to listen to at home, man.
I love the album Elephant by the White Stripes. That album just reminds me of when I was like 10 or 11. Like Black Math, incredible. And every single guitar riff is incredible. And it kind of like, you listen to it and you just want to play guitar. And then, just amazing. Red Hot Chili Peppers, By the Way. It's not really their most popular album. Like, not many people sort of tend to reference it.
Yeah.
But I think it might just be the nostalgia more than anything, songs that you've grown up with. And we used to listen to this album by the Buena Vista Social Club when I was little. Keen, Hopes and Fears, incredible, incredible album.
I've never really listened to.
Oh
Keen.
man, She Has No Time by Keen. Like, it's like the most effortless singing you could ever imagine. Just someone who can. I don't even know the lead singer's name.
Mm-hmm.
That's mad. But yeah, someone who like relatively recently I've discovered is Moses Sumney, who I think released an album in 2017 called A Romanticism.
I've just got onto his stuff. Oh man, that guy! I've never heard anyone sing like that before. It's crazy.
Just like, and it's almost like genre. You can't describe it.
Yeah,
like genreless.
We're gonna like, you can't call it indie folk or like alternative because it's
do
like
justice,
what?
Does it? Because it's something else entirely.
It's that Don't Bother Calling. I heard that on Jules Holland. I was just like, sat with my parents. You go through Jules Holland and usually it's like cool, and then every now and again just like what the.
Right.
It's
so like,
good, man.
Yeah, that album kind of, that was in the in between stages. I heard that album between like leaving the band and starting to write my own stuff, and hearing that album, because I was a bit like, oh, I don't know what kind of music I want to make, and I don't know whether I should, because I don't have a kind of clear genre, whatever. And I think that album pretty much was the main album that made me go, oh, I can actually make the music I want to make, and it can, like resonate with people, because like it's not commercial, it's not what I would describe as commercial, but I've never heard anyone listen to it and go, oh, that's not any good. Like,
Yeah.
It resonates with so many people, and it's so unique. It's got those two amazing ingredients, so I think that would be, I don't know like where it would go in the kind of
It's
like,
in there.
it's in there, yeah. Trying to think of any others. There's so many. I mean, The Strokes, Gorillaz, Demon Days.
Oh man,
Incredible. I mean, that's like,
yeah, man.
Don't Get Lost in Heaven. I think it's the last track on that album. It's got this amazing string arrangement, and like hearing, that's the thing I love about that album is I don't know if it does this on the Spotify versions, but the original version, the original like CD, I think each song merged
it goes
into
through,
the next.
does
it still do that on the Spotify version?
I think so, yeah. Is that the one, James? Is that the one where there's the orchestral version of it as well?
Probably. There's Plastic Beach as well. That's got
Demon Days. They did a live.
Yeah, have you heard
that?
that?
I have not.
It
Yeah.
was really,
James showed me
cool.
that. It blew my mind.
Whoa. Okay.
Because they make it sound so like bang on to the record.
Oh, it's not anything to do with
it's in
Gorillaz.
they did it at Manchester Opera House,
Right.
it was ages ago, but they did like a live, like just of the whole album, and it's unbelievable. Honestly, it's like hearing the album again for the first time. Do you know what I mean? Like, in a completely new way, but like just so. Yeah, if you haven't listened to that, man, check it out. It blew me away.
Yeah, and that's like, that's got to be up there with. It's so weird with that album as well, because it's kind of one I feel like you could always come back to it, and if I listen to it now, I've sort of noticed, you always notice new things with it, and stuff that sort of you listen to and you're like, that shouldn't sound good. Do you know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't work. Like, I would, or at least I would never ever dream of putting that in a song, and it just is so perfect. It's like, oh my god, that takes a sort of, I don't know, higher level of perception. I don't know what you would, some sort of psychological term for it probably, to be able to, or maybe it's just pure a confident songwriter or whatever to say, oh, I think we should have that thing, throw it in and keep it, and
stick with
be
it.
brave with it,
Yeah,
I love that, man.
I think it's so easy to like remove that sort of
just
stuff.
back out. Oh, people won't like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah,
I think we were guilty of that a lot in our old stuff, weren't we?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, just second guessing everything, which is But then, it's like who you were writing it for. That's a really hard one, and that's something I struggled with for ages. Was feeling like I was writing for anyone else, and just constantly writing really, really bad music because of that. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I like try to imagine like what someone else wants to hear, but then it's like I'm never gonna know that answer. So why am I trying to even work that one out? Do you know what I mean? I think the best you can do is just give anything a go, and then you're gonna find your feet from that.
Yeah. That's so true. I mean, bravery. I mean, like being like courageous with your decisions. Sometimes for me, is just like so listenable when you hear someone do something that's bold, and especially like hearing mates release music, because obviously we have a lot of mates who make music. So when you hear them release something and you sort of see a different side to them through that song, you're like, whoa, I didn't know so and so was sort of capable of expressing themselves in that way, and that's always just so listenable. You just want to hear it.
And it's not necessarily bold. People think like something like doing something crazy. It could be the opposite as well. It could like be bringing something in when you didn't expect it to, whatever it is. But just making those decisions that people don't necessarily expect. I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah,
sure.
You don't want it to be tame, do you? You don't.
No.
No, but then there's also this other side of like somehow making the most simple music and then making it beautiful. That's a really difficult thing to do as well.
Yeah.
Because you could easily do that and it's just a bit flaccid,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
I was trying to guess what word.
That's a really good word.
That's what it is, though, man.
Yeah.
It's so like that's what we were saying before, like writing like music that's happy or joyous. It's hard to do it, and for it to be like genuine and interesting, and it's the dark art, man. Songwriting is a deep dark art.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Well, I always find it interesting as well when people try and collaborate. You know, two great songwriters collaborate and it doesn't work out. You know, individually, you know, they might have produced albums that I would say are like up there with the greatest albums of all time. But then when they try and work together, they just don't gel, or what they produce is. I always find that quite interesting. Or sometimes it's the opposite and it's the most incredible thing ever. There's a song called Talk It Out by Tash Sultana and Matt Corby, which I think is a really good example of when it does work, though.
Right.
It's such a tune. So they released this song together. I was like, oh, I really hope it's good.
Yeah.
You get that feeling, like, oh, and it was. And it was like, yes, this is so good.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Songwriting, it's a mystery.
Somewhere, someone's got some secret sauce, haven't they? And they just...
I think everyone's source is different, man. Everyone, like you said, like everyone has a different approach, and you know, I think it's tapping into your own ness, whatever that is. Although, however you find that, that's the mystery, man. That's the journey. That's the journey. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For people that have just joined us on this inspiring songwriting conversation, I'm here with Danny Addison, wonderful songwriter. I'm here with Matthew Campbell, awesome guitarist, Wolf at the back. I think we should go for a little break. What say you?
I say...
Let's listen to some of...
I'd love to hear some of this. So, Dan came and did a little set for us before, some stuff off his new EP, and one other one. It was great. I loved it. I always love listening to Dan's music. It's wonderful. So, yeah, I really hope you enjoy this. If you enjoy what you like, please follow us on Twitch, and we've got stuff on social media. This episode will be on YouTube and Spotify on Saturday, so... people in the future, hello, thank you for listening to us. I really hope you enjoy Dan's music. We're going to be back in like 10-12 minutes or something, and then we'll talk about some more stuff, and then yeah, it'll be good. So anything to say to the audience to prep them before this performance?
Hold on to your hats now. Hope you enjoy it.
Cool. All right, hope you enjoy it. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Hello, I'm Danny Addison, and this is a song called Tribe.
It feels good to be a part of a bigger thing. It'd be good to be the star on a movie screen. Be the black or be the white, don't be in between. Be a fighter, pick a side, pick a team. Mountains will move, the shadow of what I was before. I'm burning, I'm screaming through this megaphone. I'm yearning in the fires of my people. I see science, see device, see the algorithms. My peace was my tribe when it clouds my vision. I swell with the pride of 1,000 nations, a pretty gritty gods in our heaven. Oh, mountains will move, the shadow of what I was before, and I'll be brand new. Shout outside my demon's door. I'm burning, I'm screaming through this megaphone. I'm yearning in the fires of my people. I'm burning, the poison for this antidote. I'm yearning in the fires of my people.
One more? Yeah. Thank you very much for having me, guys. This last song is called The June. The June. I need my cover again. Alright. Hopefully it'll be in tune.
So inseparable, seeing things eye to eye, and so irreplaceable, hands stuck to the sky. I'm headed for the June. I'm headed for the June. I'm headed for sailing out on foam beam, waiting for the tide, sitting on our islands, taking our sweet time. I'm headed for the June. I'm headed for the June. I'm headed for the June. I'm headed for. And if the tide would leave us, and if the sky deceives us, think of the sand beneath your feet, blow steadily. We were so inseparable, seeing things eye to eye.
Nice. This last song is called Joy. Thank you for having me. I'm Danny Addison.
I've been taken down a peg or two in December's dew, and I've been shaken from the pedestal, fingers black and blue. Said, are you made up in your makeup or another too? So we're both phrases from two different tunes. And I hear you say, be a man, my boy. Stay strong for me as the roots of the family tree. Said I've been taken in this lonely view, and it's made for only two. And I feel misshapen, fingers black and blue, and my feet don't fit my shoes. I said, are you made up in your makeup or another too? I said, we're both phrases from two different tunes. Oh. And I hear you say, be a man, my boy. Won't you stay strong for me as the roots of the family tree? Your tears will bring you joy. Won't you stay strong for me as the roots of the family tree? Go.
Dan, tell us where we can find all your shit.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. On this camera.
This camera. I thought I was looking at George. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Danny Addison Music, Facebook at Danny Addison Music, and Spotify at Danny Addison. Hope you enjoyed it.
Lovely. Lovely. Bye, Dan. Bye. Hello, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Kicking Back podcast. I'm here with the lovely Daniel Addison. How are you, mate? You okay?
All right. I'm on my second appetizer.
I think that's enough for you, sir.
I'm absolutely wired. I'm ready for questions.
I'm not even sure if I've ever had apple cider. What is it? It's just like fruity kind of. Oh, it's not very kind of safe, is
no,
it,
it's
Dan?
not. It's an apple.
It's like a fizzy drink sort of thing, is it?
Well, I'll just.
Yeah, go on. Give us
Sparkle naturally with appetizer. Our sumptuous, simply crafted signature apple blend with 100% real fruit juice.
Wow. Did you know that we're actually sponsored by Appetizer?
Dan, can you look at the camera this time?
Yeah, do it.
Best.
Do it down camera 2, this one here. And there's really...
Oh, I've been looking at that one the whole...
well,
I've been like...
it's like crazy. you know when you like talk to someone but you don't look with the eye, you like look at their forehead. It's like kind of really creepy.
Really uncomfortable if you just look at someone like Adam's apple.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
How you
what are you
doing,
looking at? What are you looking at?
Right.
Yeah, so go camera 2 and in your most like M&S sensual voice.
Sparkle naturally with appetizer. Our sumptuous, simply crafted signature apple blend with 100% real fruit juice. Best served chilled.
Wow. Have you ever thought about retraining as a
As a matter of fact, no. I never have. But you know, you've given me another ego boost now. Now I'm thinking,
Well, Dan, I think you're a wonderful human being.
Oh.
I want people to know.
this is too much.
Yeah, man. It's true.
All these compliments and 2 appetizers. It's
Well, we look after people here.
Ew.
Dan.
You messaged me and you were like, do you want any drink of any kind? And I took a shot. I was like,
Took a shot in the dark.
I have an appetizer. And you were like, yeah, no worries. And I was like,
Gobsmacked.
could have asked for the Chardonnay.
So do you like drink or anything, Dan, or you're not really asked about that sort of
I do.
stuff?
I
On
do
occasion.
in social events.
Right, yeah.
So I haven't drunk for 10 months.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I've occasionally like drank with a meal, but like when I'm on my own, it just doesn't feel.
There's something
same.
weird about drinking on your own, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think each their own, but
Yeah.
I've just never done it really. And yeah, I love drinking at gigs, and there's no gigs, so
Yeah.
I sort of feel a bit weird if I'm watching a band without a drink.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, and then you also might go and talk to the band if you've got a drink because you've got
Bit of
courage.
Dutch courage.
Yeah, but I'm not like a big drinker. I don't sort of get wasted when I do drink. Yeah.
It's funny, man. I can't remember who I was talking to. And they were talking about sort of younger generations, younger than we are, and they were talking about how it seems like they're less into sort of drinking and stuff. They seem to be a bit more. I don't know. It's a funny one, man, because I'm not like a massive drinker either, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I've heard some scary. Not scary. I don't know if it's scary. Some weird statistics about that.
about
The younger generation, like they learn to drive later, and they're moving out their parents' houses later and stuff like. But it's apparently something to do with the fact that kids have grown up with screens in their pocket, and so they're more connected to this thing than the wider world.
right. So they're less inclined to push themselves out there. Strange.
I mean, I learnt to drive pretty late as well. Like I learnt to drive when I was 23,
Oh.
I think.
See, I got that stuff done when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm 95, so
You're 95, Dan. Oh my! You look so good.
So I think, yeah. So when were you? What year were you?
I'm 94.
Right. So you're part of the millennials then, aren't you? Because I'm part of the generation iGen or whatever.
I think I'm with you, man.
Huh?
I'm with you.
You're
95 as well.
95.
Yeah.
Do you feel? But you're like the first year, so I feel like maybe we didn't get the worst of it. Like, because I only got a phone with internet and like, so I didn't get on Facebook till quite late. Anyway.
Yeah.
14 compared to a lot of my friends.
Yeah, I don't think I had to. That was in my teens. Yeah.
I had a phone when I was like 12. Like, why do you? That's so weird when I think
really
about
weird,
that. Why
yeah.
do you got? Why do you need a phone when you're 12?
Well, I guess so you can call your mum.
Yeah,
Or your mate that lives down the road.
Yeah.
That's about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange, mum. Strange. Yeah, I would not want to be a kid growing up these days, mum.
Really?
Yeah. It freaks me out, all this.
What? How come?
Well, just all this like social media stuff. I find it, I feel, yeah, like you were saying, that we were kind of lucky that we had some time away from it. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a thing, obviously, till I was like 13, 14, whatever. So I guess that kind of gives you a bit of grounding in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the film Social Dilemma, Dan?
I have, and it scared the shit out of me.
It scared the crap out of me, man.
The bit where was it? One of the founders of Twitter said he's like not on Twitter, or he made something new. I can't remember whether it was Pinterest. I can't remember what it was, Pinterest or something. And he came home after a day of working, and then was on. He like just wasn't going to bed because he was just scrolling through his own invention or the thing that he'd founded. I was like, what the fuck? So even the people that have invented it are addicted to it, which is mad.
It's so... Well, the problem is it's so new, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's such an unexplored universe of possibilities.
Are you addicted to your phones?
I'm very like... I try and be on my phone as little as possible.
I know that about you actually.
I try and just... Yeah, because I have quite an addictive personality anyway, so I try and just... I never have like notifications stuff. And also, it's so boring.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so monotonous and just like...
Yeah.
Occasionally there's a funny like dog video, or I don't know, watch Joe Rogan podcast or something, but like most of the time
you just got to post those cat pictures and then you're off.
Yeah, exactly. Just get the job done and then get the hell out of there. Do you know what I mean?
Before the
Almighty
negativity comes.
soul. Oh, that cat picture.
All the hate.
I thought
you didn't get the reference.
No, I thought you meant like cute cat pictures. But
No.
You're like, what are you talking about, you weirdo?
It's the ratio of like time spent on it for worthwhile content where it's like, oh, thank goodness it's actually coming. I just think like sat from me. I don't like
Get up.
Yeah,
This
is what I mean, man. Sometimes I like close Facebook, bored out of my mind, go to practice, and then just pick up and like open it again without even thinking. And it's like 2 seconds time, I'm like, what the hell am I
So
doing?
weird. I saw you on your
annoying.
phone just before.
Yeah.
And I just from seeing you on yours, I like reached for mine and I couldn't feel it, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I just had that moment of
There is that, because it's so, you're just attached to it, aren't you?
so much. Yeah.
I wish there wasn't. I wish there was a way to have like my business stuff and on Facebook or whatever, and then just not have a personal account, because it's just like, I hate like all these group messages and all that. It's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Just tell all your friends to leave you alone, and then
I've tried that, but people, they just want to talk to me all the time. It's so hard. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I'm trying like move things towards like WhatsApp and stuff like that.
same problem comes along though, doesn't it?
At least it's not as bad, I suppose. At
Now
least
we're getting warned about WhatsApp too, aren't we? Elon Musk is like, get off WhatsApp.
Why?
There's another one called Signal, which is apparently a lot better.
Yeah.
It has like 1 million or something like that, like monthly users.
Sponsored by Tesla.
Yeah, exactly. SpaceX.
Don't use our business.
WhatsApp sucks.
Yeah, and it's like who do you trust? I think.
What's the issue with WhatsApp then?
Honestly, it confused the hell out of me. But it's something to do with like I think they've started selling your information to Facebook. in one way, or not maybe not selling, but now it's like you use WhatsApp, they're gonna give some of your information over.
See, I mean, how do you feel about that? Because I don't know if I care. Like, I know I probably should. I know, and I totally get why people do. But if I found out that like Facebook had got all my details, unless they've got my bank details, I honestly couldn't care less. So what? What are they going to do with my?
It's like targeted marketing and stuff, you know. But as well, it depends. Like, how susceptible you feel to it. And I guess probably everyone's at the risk, even if they don't think they are. I mean, like if I'm on YouTube, I'll literally like mute an advert and like look away because I'm not here for I'm here for some Justin Vernon or whatever, like, you know, some Ray Montaigne. I don't want any of this, so I'll literally just be like, nope. Yeah. And then I don't even want to look if it's like a survey, just like none of the above. Yeah. So I try and just stay out of it. It has to come into your life at some point, doesn't it? You can't run away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try my best.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah. I'm the same as you, man. I feel like I don't care, but I don't know whether that's a risky business because if everyone doesn't care, then they kind of
they win. Yeah,
they get their own way with it.
And I know what you mean about the whole like I don't care if they sell me information, but it's more like you're saying. It's like the more susceptible people or people that can be like manipulated with these things are being shown things and being tunneled down, and also like from that documentary, it's like saying it's having a massive effect on like politics and stuff like that, and
that's true.
The sort of partisanship that we have going on. It's adding to all that. It's just like fueling that fire, and it is. Yeah.
No, that's it. And I know it's like I know I should care, but I sort of
just don't.
I don't know. I just can't bring myself to feel like. Because I think I'd just be stressed all the time. I'd be like, oh no, everyone's trying to gather my anything I accept cookies for. I'd be like, oh, they're getting my. You can't like I mean I've started doing this thing where I'm trying to unsubscribe to email. People are sending out emails that I don't care about. Yeah. But even that's effort. Having to go down every single time you go on any site and they accept the cookies and they get your email and then they send you an email. It's like,
Here's a question for you. How many unread emails do you have in your inbox?
Oh, well, there's two types of people, isn't there? There's the like 3,000 emails unread, and then there's the none. And I'm the none. Like I can't stand it. Yeah, because
I think in my like Hotmail account that I've had for a long time, I think there's over like 12,000 or something like that. Because it gets to a certain point where it's like I cannot like tackle this. I could spend like 4 days like trying to delete all this, and it would just
You might as well just get a new email.
Well, that's what I did. Do you know what I mean? I was like, right, I'm done with that one. Never mind. And that's like mine. Just like. If you want to send, if you want to send crap to me, send it to that email, and I'm not going to look at it. But it's bad, isn't it?
I'm just imagining all the things you could do to the contacts on that account. Like, if someone sends you an email, just have an automatic response like, "I'm dead" or something.
Gone.
Not contact me. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I'm receiving really important emails.
No,
I am. I'm not. It's
so true.
It's just it's like an OCD thing. Like I just don't like.
You like to be tidy.
I just but in that thing specifically because I'm not tidy in a lot of ways. So it's just my email. Maybe it's I spend so much time on my phone. I need it to be clean. I don't know.
Pristine.
Yeah. Every time I go on my phone, I want to be able to go perfect.
See that. Little zero, just like that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, life is going good.
Except the voice memos, of course.
Yeah, my voice memos are trash.
Yeah,
just lots
unbelievable, isn't it?
Rubbish. Yeah.
I get this thing on my phone where I get like voice memos like 2 weeks after they've been like sent to me, which of course by that point is completely useless.
Oh, on Facebook Messenger and stuff.
No, I'm talking about on my phone.
Oh, like voicemail.
Voicemail.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's just like people like trying to call me for like important things, and I'm just like, oh.
You can't return the call at that point, can't you?
Because then it also makes you look like an asshole because like, okay, this guy couldn't be bothered to reply to me. It's now 2 weeks
bigger fish to fry.
Oh man, it's a nightmare.
You're an important guy. I mean,
Busy.
you can't.
Busy man. I can't be everywhere at
Yeah.
once. You know.
What do they expect? Jeez, return the call.
Ha! Ha! Drop me an email.
Idiots. to your non-used account, to your dead account. Yeah, just every time you get a voicemail that's like 2 weeks late, find out who that person is and just send them
Send them an email.
I'm so sorry I can pick
Just
up.
contact me on
Just-
here. That's cool.
Honestly, I'll get back to you straight away.
This is the email that I use.
Yeah,
so
yeah, all the
on
time.
this one, and we'll be fine.
Zero unread.
I think I've sent you some song ideas to that email, you know. Like amongst like 12,000 like hot babes in your local area kind of emails. There's just like one like Matt Campbell does a cover.
So funny. I bet you feel really guilty.
I do.
There's probably some gold in there as well.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because amongst all that like shite, there's probably some quite important stuff there. But it's gone
Yeah.
too far, man. It's gone
Yeah.
too far.
And then it's all it's mixed in with like,
Just crap.
yeah.
It's crap, man. Stuff that like emails from people that I've never even heard
Wonga.
of. Yeah, just like things that I'm pretty sure I've never even used.
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
like, service before.
Well, this is the thing. You go on the site once, and they make you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's annoying about it. But I think it's just something I've just built it into my life now. Every time I go on my emails, I unsubscribe to at least one thing, and then I move on.
Oh, I wish I was like you, Dan.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. They don't actually. It's really sad. No one ever says that.
Well, I
only
wish
one
I
that
would.
does.
Yeah, you're unique, mate. Unique. For people that have just joined us or got disrupted, sorry about before. We had a power cut. We're here with the lovely Dan Addison, who is singer-songwriter, string arranger, just a bit of everything, really. We're here with the lovely Matt Campbell, guitarist, friend, wolf at the back,
The
nice
guy.
chap, the dude over there. Yeah, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, we are running this on a donation basis. So if you're live on the Twitch, James has put a link up there before, I think. So if you want to donate towards us, it helps us out, just putting things on, getting artists on, all this yada, yada, yada. And we really, really appreciate it. We are now having these episodes up on YouTube and on Spotify. Actually, on most podcast apps now, I think, which is great. So if you're listening to us in the future on Spotify, hello, thank you for listening. Please remember to subscribe. That really helps us. If you're watching it now and you want to watch it again and see Dan's lovely face, then you can head over to the YouTube and subscribe on there. We're going to be having the Kicking Back podcasts every week. Hopefully every Wednesday, and we're going to be streaming them, and then they're coming out on the Saturday, and it's just going to be like this thing, just going, man. This creative, beautiful thing where we get to chat to nice people like that. So
This is so cool. I haven't
great,
said that
man.
on through the mic. I haven't said it's so cool. This is amazing. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it's been wonderful to have you here, man. It's been great.
Yeah.
I did actually want to talk about something that's not particularly relevant, but I think it's something.
This is a serious question.
No, it's not serious, man. But we watched a film the other day that I feel like I need to tell everyone about because it blew me away. It was a Bollywood film. Have you ever watched any Bollywood films?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Right. Well, this particular film was called Bahubali 2. What was it called, George? Bahubali 2?
Bahubali 2,
The Conclusion.
Okay.
James, can you pull that up on just so people can have a look? But this film, so it's one of the highest budget budget Bollywood films out there. It's quite recent, and my goodness, I've never ever seen anything like it.
Just like the
most obviously very high budget, it's great special effects, but just in terms of the way they deal with story and the action, it's 3 hours long. It did not feel like it was 3 hours long.
Right.
It was just go from the start. It was just go, and it was just any sort of conventional Western thing. They've just taken it and just flipped it, and it's the most. And also it's really beautiful as well, really colourful and enjoyable.
Is it quite new?
I think it is quite new. Yeah, it's only is it like 1 or 2 years old, maybe 3 years old.
Oh right. Is it
Can we
like
show?
medieval?
Are we allowed to show like a little clip? Okay, let's go
I was
camera.
thinking it was like modern day, but this.
And also, oh yeah, the actors are gorgeous as well. Honestly, man, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not going to explain the story because the story's like that crazy that it'd be hard to explain. But yeah,
Like, it's crazy, isn't it? You don't think about it, but like there's like 1 point how many billion? There's over 1 billion people in India. So
yeah, man.
if you're like the most famous actor in India, you're like one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So true.
But yeah,
Never really realised that until watching. It was Slumdog Millionaire,
yeah, yeah.
and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It was honestly, it was so fascinating.
Right.
It just kind of broke the mold. We watched a few other Bollywoods once since then. Not as good. But there's always going to be crap films, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But yeah, man, you got to check this film out. It was like ridiculous and like so entertaining. The laws of physics.
What makes a film Bollywood? That's my question.
I think by definition, it's just like if it's produced in,
By a certain company.
yeah.
Does it have to be made in India?
I would assume so. Oh, but they have like music through it, and they've got like
music,
some little music bits. But also, it's interesting. Like, so when they have the music, it's actually like because it's all subtitles as well. Like the music's kind of like telling the story as it's happening as well. So it's not just like they've really. It's like it's explaining stuff as it's happening, and there's the action. Oh man, you got to watch it. You got to watch it.
Bollywood has been described as Hindi cinema.
Hindi cinema. There you go.
Hindi cinema. Formerly Bombay cinema.
Yeah, and it's so like beautiful and colourful as well. Yeah, I would very much recommend it to anyone out there. Did you watch it with us?
No,
Matt?
so yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Can you watch it on your own? That'd be weird.
I think
Yes, very weird. Don't do that.
Do I care?
it's definitely more enjoyable as a group. But you could watch it in. I mean, we had a couple of breaks, but it's worth it, man. Like my favourite film of all like series is Lord of the Rings, and I thought it surpassed
What?
that, man.
Seriously?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually better.
In terms of like just like because Lord of the Rings has a few little dips of just
Yeah.
like I still love it.
It's incredible, isn't it?
But this was just like the energy was just, but not in like a tiring way. It just kept going, man. Honestly,
There was like it's really interesting actually. All the actors involved in. This is my nerdy side, right? So
that's it,
like
man.
Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen, right?
Yes, Mr. Handsome.
Yeah.
So I think, what's his name? Russell Crowe was up for that role,
No.
No,
and Nicolas Cage,
I heard about Nick Cage.
you're joking.
and he was like, apparently, was it Peter Jackson? Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Peter Jackson.
He was like really keen on having. This could all be complete bollocks, but I think Nicolas Cage was really like Peter Jackson really wanted Nicolas Cage, and then he ended up not doing it because he'd have to be away from his family for ages because like a lot of it was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny, and like Gandalf, I think Sean Connery was gonna play, but he didn't get it, and Can you imagine how different it would have been though? If,
But the thing is, like, in some parallel universe somewhere that happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I would love to see that.
David Bowie wanted to play Elrond.
I
I thought you were going to say Saruman for some reason.
No, well, yeah. Can you imagine?
David Bowie. My name is Sarah, man.
Hold on, just imagining him trying to get the ring. Dancing to Let's Dance. Oh man, that would have been. I think he would have been a good Elrond though. Have you seen Labyrinth?
Yeah, he's.
No.
I've seen him in it, like his minor role.
What's Labyrinth?
It's like I think it was made in the 80s. It's about a girl who's looking after her younger brother, and he gets taken by the goblins, the Goblin King, who's played by David Bowie, wants to takes this baby to his castle in this labyrinth, and she has to like make her way through, and it's really weird. Like,
is it good? Is it like a good? Would you recommend it?
I would, yeah. Just to see David Bowie play a Goblin King, because he's sort of like when he talks, I think he does a bit of singing as well. Like it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite strange. I think it's the woman who plays. I don't know her name, but she was in like the Hulk with. What else has she been in? I'm trying to think of like what most famous film is. Doesn't matter. Check it out. Labyrinth. David Bowie.
Yeah,
Have you watched?
That's my film recommendation for you.
Okay. Matt, have you got a film recommendation of?
I've got what. Have you guys seen? The name escapes me now. It's the Hughes Rock musical. It's like Tommy, the Pinball Wizard kind of thing. I can't remember what they call it. You know, like so Elton John did the tune Pinball Wizard. Didn't he? It's like the only famous thing to come from it. I watched that when I was at home, and that's a film not recommendation. That honestly, so hard. Basically, if anyone's like, "Hey, have you guys heard about that the rock musical from the Who? We should check it out." I'm like, holy, it was so hard to watch.
Is it worse than The Room?
I love The Room though. Yeah. Well, I loved watching The Room, and I loved watching James Franco's like remake.
I haven't seen that yet. I really want to see.
You got to do it.
Yeah, I need to see.
It's just like great on so many levels, man. And the thing I love is that James Franco clearly has watched The Room a lot, like in his own time. Just as a thing, do you know what I mean?
I've seen the like prosthetic outfit, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Like,
yeah,
and no one knows anything about Tommy Wiseau as well.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
So
like,
weird.
No one knows. Does anyone know where he's born? Or
well, he says like San Francisco, but like, have you heard his accent? He's like,
it's like Eastern European, or in a way.
Yeah.
The way
have you seen The Room?
I don't know. I know it gets referenced a lot in like bad film things, but I've never seen it.
Yeah. I've never seen The Room. I asked you if you'd seen The Room because you mentioned bad films. But I've never actually seen it.
You guys have got to do it.
Is it like bad in a good way?
It's just good to watch, man. I don't know why it's good to watch. I think it's like it must tap into like a really weird part of people that just likes watching things that are wrong. Do you know what I mean? Just purely out of interest. You just gotta wonder what planet this guy's on. Like, he had all this money and he apparently had this vision, but he just didn't have. Like, he just couldn't act, you know what I mean? And he couldn't like write a story, he couldn't direct or any of these things. Some of the greatest quotes of all time though come from that thing. So.
This is another story, right? And I don't know if it's true, right? So Sylvester Stallone, when he made Rocky, he wrote the script originally, and apparently he was going around to all these production companies trying to get money to make it, and they a lot of them were interested, but they didn't want him to star in it because he'd never been in any film. I don't think, or he'd never done anything that big. And he said, he kept refusing the money, and he was living in LA, I think, and had to like sell his dog to pay rent because he was struggling so much. And then eventually this one production company agreed, and then was like, okay, we'll give you this money and we'll let you star in it, but we're not going to give you that much. So he ended up he got like a fraction of what he originally needed, or what he thought he needed to make the film. And then he took the money and ended up paying like $1,000 to get his dog back. So he took a bit of that money and bought his dog back, and then made Rocky, and then the money rolled in. Millions and millions. Yeah, it's quite a nice story.
Yeah, man.
We watched what was it we watched the other day?
Oh, Rambo.
Did we watch Rambo?
I have, but I can't quote it or anything.
It was good, man. It was it was kind of poignant at the end. It had like
total twist. It was not what I saw coming at all. It was like I was expecting like all that action, but it's just like a really sad kind of like dude comes back from Vietnam and is just lost and can't form a life. It's like, this is what I signed up for. And then we all just sort of like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, it was it was good, man. It was good.
There's something about people must just be watching worse and worse films as this pandemic goes on as well, because you can't
Scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and you can't go highbrow all the time either.
No.
You know, if you're in the same household all the time and everything like that, like you do just want trash, don't you? Like the amount of like we've just been digging through like Seth Rogen comedies and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Jason Bateman's another good one. I don't know. He's just
Jason.
He's who do he play? He's like he's fairly famous, isn't he? He's kind of like Jason Bateman's like that guy. He's just
Jason Bateman again. I know that.
Yeah, I can't even think.
James, can you pull him up? Yeah. So we can add.
Oh, we had that go down. Yeah, let's pull it up. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it kind of same. You know, like you have I'd say like James Franco, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen. You got like, and then you got the guys like hang around with those guys and do some of the worst films. I think he's probably in like that one, and then it just goes down. Then you have like
I know Jason Bateman, the guy who's in Ozark.
I think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I knew. Yeah. He's sick. I love this.
He's great, man. He's absolutely awesome. He's so funny to watch, but also just like that guy.
Yeah, he's like, it's really dry humor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's who's the guy in Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Charlie. What's his the actor?
Oh yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
I can't remember what's he called? I can't remember.
Is
he? See, I've not seen anything apart. I've only watched him in It's Only Sunny, so I've not seen him in anything else. Is he?
He's in. They're in something called Horrible Bosses. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've not seen it.
Really funny.
It's great. Jennifer Aniston.
Really good. Jennifer Aniston's in it. Yeah. Yeah. God. So my head is like I've just seen so many films and like watched so many series over lockdown. I don't know if it's healthy now. I feel like I'm learning a lot of I feel like I know how to write a really good story, but how useful is that?
Yeah, so I have at least if something's like really crap, I at least have this like analytical mind of like, okay, what's good, like how are they filming it, and sort of so I can take some from that, even if it's just the most base, just
but for you it must be hard to switch that off when you're watching it.
A little bit, but then if something's like awesome, I'm like, have you ever watched what's it called, that FBI series on Netflix that's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen?
Brooklyn Nine.
No, it's about how they came up with like defining serial killers. It'll come back to me.
I know what you mean.
Mindhunter.
Yeah.
Like that is just like fantastic. Just
the way it's filmed.
I can't even believe like the stuff that they managed to achieve with that.
Really?
It's like astonishing.
What do you like? What's the stuff?
Just the way. Like storytelling in a way that's so like visually pleasing. I think you could like mute it and you'd still understand what was going on. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like visual storytelling. And just like technical achievements of like, when like you've seen like these like LCD screens and stuff that they have. So for like The Mandalorian, have you seen stuff like that?
I've seen Mandalorian, but I don't know.
So basically they have this new technology where they're able to basically it's like imagine like a 3-set wall, but it's entirely made of like LCD, like massive, essentially like massive TV screens.
Yeah.
And what they're able to do is that as they move the camera, the perspective and stuff changes, so they can basically like create whatever environment they want. They can edit it in real time. So it's like, I don't like that rock there. Let's move that. Let's change that. But also because it's like obviously it's a lit thing, you're getting natural lighting as well.
Yeah.
So it's lighting everything for you as well. So basically they can create whatever the hell they want. I think we've got a picture of it here, George. You want to just show? So it's like kind of like that sort of thing. So basically they're able to do like whatever the hell they want in that space and light it. So they're not having to get any lights in the way. So the camera is able to move freely. The actors are able to be like immersed in it properly as well. So it's not like they're working with green screen where they're having to like pretend something's happening. They can sort of see it and visualize it.
Because a lot of actors don't like that, do they? They don't
Yeah, well, I mean, that's difficult, man.
Yeah.
Like, even like when we were filming the intro sequence the other day.
Yeah. That is sick.
I wouldn't necessarily say like acting.
No, but like,
you know,
it's that placement of like being like, right, you're on this bit now, and it's like, do you know what I mean? Like we're at this point in the story, and it's like this person has to feel this certain way, and you know, like imagine how difficult that is to do, just normally anyway, and then you put that in with like green screen on. It's like, right, you're being chased by like 15,000 orcs or something. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I think I could do that one too. Yeah,
but yeah, this new technology, it's amazing. But yeah, with all like with Mindhunter, like the driving scenes and stuff, like that's what they're using for all that. So all the background elements and stuff that you see. So, but it looks so realistic.
Yeah.
Because you're getting like all the reflections on the car and stuff.
Yeah.
So it, you know, just like loads of just tiny little details that like just pull it all together in this beautiful way, and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know that it's not real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I've watched that series like 3 or 4 times.
Whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating, man.
Crazy.
As well as it being like a really well written story as well.
It is addictive. I mean, I did watch like the whole thing on my own as well.
Yeah.
Like, because it was when I first moved, and I just I just discovered it, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? This is sick.
It's great, man.
And I find the killers so creepy.
Yeah.
I know that sounds dumb, but they're so like who's the tall guy, the one with all the shoes. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it.
I know what you mean.
Guy with the shoes.
What's it? My favourite guys, you know, the big fat guy with the
The big one.
The big dude.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like nerdy.
yeah,
I'm assuming.
yeah. It's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Just like some of the best.
Did you like? Because when we were filming, I wanted to like ask you all these questions, like when we were doing the filming for the video.
Yeah.
Were you thinking about certain things that you'd seen and trying to emulate it, or were you thinking, okay, were you sort of trying? Did you go in with something that you wanted to make, like wanted to add, or were you sort of playing it by ear?
I think no, definitely. Like most of the shots were like planned out in a particular way. It's like the camera needs to do this to show this. A lot of it is just like it's just a language basically. So like a camera moving out as a revealing shot and stuff like that. It's basically you're picking up just different bits of language, and you kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. But then at the same time, everyone's cinematography language is individual. So it's the same as like music or anything. You pick up like little bits that you like here and there. It's like, oh, I've seen this. I'm gonna try this, and you know, you're picking up little bits. Same with like doing the intro sequence. Is what Foo Fighters video is it? Long Road to Ruin. The intro sequence to that, I was like, that's brilliant. That's perfect.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, we're going to take elements of that and then sort of do our own thing with it.
You said yeah.
So I guess it's a mix of that, and then also, there's definitely an element of improvisation as well. But I've realised now is like you just got to trust your gut.
Because there was a lot of stuff we didn't know was going to happen.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really cool to watch you do that, because I'd never been on a like video shoot like that before. I'd been on a video shoots, but where I kind of felt like semi-director.
Yeah.
Kind of like just do whatever you needed.
Yeah.
Done, moving stuff around. It was really interesting actually to see you do.
I mean, it was great. Like, what was good about working with you is because you'd like built the narrative for it. Which was really helpful. And then obviously all I did was then just sort of almost like put it into words, if you get what I mean, like put it into like a visual language. But that kind of improvisation is kind of based on the language a little bit as well, but it's I don't know, you kind of just absorb things and you make a lot of mistakes. I've made so many mistakes, man.
Go on, what's the worst thing?
What's the worst thing I've
What's
done?
the worst thing you've ever done?
I think the worst thing I've done is like just like losing files and like, or just like.
What about on the?
That's just
shoot
like
on,
sad though, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
on the shoot, like just like missing shots and like
Yeah.
or like things not being in focus. I mean, I've not done that for a while, but like. Or like the lighting was wrong, or you underexpose it, or like the actor didn't do quite the right thing, and you can't see the expression on the face properly.
that sounds like pretty good for the worst thing that's ever happened. To be honest, like,
I can't. I feel like I've blocked like it's a really bad shit out of my head. But I mean, like the bulk of my stuff has been like live music stuff, so there can't be that much
yeah, it's fairly controlled.
goes wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The thing that always like makes me laugh is when people look in the camera, because there's nothing like breaking the wall and someone just going like that.
well
in the
annoying,
middle of-
isn't it?
in the middle of
So annoying.
James Bradshaw, he's so bad for that, man. Every shoot that I've done
He is
with
good.
him.
James, that guy just no.
But yeah, just I don't know, man. I love it. I think it's such a fascinating. It's an entire another world of like stuff.
It's
You know what
hard,
I mean?
like that camera thing though. If you're panning across, it's hard not. I've got to I like blur my eyes so I don't have to focus on the camera, so my eyes stay straight. It's really hard not to look at. Any tips? I mean, I don't know what to do. Really.
What in terms of like
when someone's like not panning, but
as
they're
in
like going
coming
across
across at you.
your line of sight.
I always say to people like pick a focus point. So like pick a point in the room or something. If you're like feeling nervous or something,
It's
just go for
super
that. It's weird, man. I'm like I hate being in front of a camera. I really don't like it at all.
Have you ever practiced for when you're filming?
Me and George did like a little sketch thing over lockdown. That was like the first time that I'd actually done some like acting and stuff in front of the camera.
Where is that? Is that
It's buried.
Where is that?
It's
no,
dead.
it's not good. It's in the vault.
It was
James
more.
pull it up now.
No, it's not. It's not on.
Pull it up.
It's not out in the world. Yeah, it's
Episode 5.
it's difficult though, man. There's something very unnerving about just that element. And I'm definitely someone that likes to get in there. Do you know what I mean? And I've always had the attitude of like, even if you piss someone off, get in and get the shot. Do you know what I mean? Because that moment will pass and whatever. Same with like like if I'm filming a gig or whatever, it's like I'm gonna put like. Not barge in front of someone, but I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in your way.
Get away.
Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna get in your way to get.
I've seen you do it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
On the wall.
Ruthless.
But you just got to do that, man.
Yeah.
It's just to get there, and also, I don't know, man. I make it up a lot of the time. Just make it up. You just go with your gut. That's the most important thing I've learned is every time that I've been on a shoot and it's like we're about to start and I feel that something's wrong and I don't know what it is, every time that I've not done something about that and just gone on with it anyway, I've regretted it. So I've just like learned to just be like, take a moment and just like look at it and be like, right, what's wrong? And just, the most difficult thing is like lighting. Like I'd say that's the most difficult
We had
thing to get right.
mare with that, didn't we? When we were trying to get the it was it this one?
Yeah, it was this one. Yeah.
God, I had no idea. Because we like blacked out all the walls to focus the light. Was that to focus the light on?
Yeah, because obviously that's the biggest thing with lighting, to make it look natural. You have to be
really unnatural.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to like control it because obviously it bounces everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and we were in like a tiny little bathroom. It's like how big is it? It's not even. It's small in here.
Smaller than this.
Smaller than this space, isn't it? And like, white walls everywhere. So it's like, okay, we've got to like just put these black fur.
You walked in and went, "This will not do."
But you got to do that. It's so funny though, because then obviously you look at the final shot and you'd never in a million years think, because it looks like natural, doesn't it? It just looks like
all the sweat.
Yeah. It's funny, man. The amount. That's another thing as well. Is like when you see like a really simple or beautiful shot, it's like it's never really as simple as you think it is.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much time and effort.
I was
and,
like, yeah, mate, this is going to take about an hour probably. And you were like, yeah.
it's like, no, it's going to take about 5 or 6.
And you said something like, yeah, we'll see how we go, or something like that, because you just knew. I had no idea, because I'm just blissfully unaware of any of the technicalities. But yeah, it was sick. It was pro.
We figured it out, didn't we? We figured it out.
And like, yeah, we had that thing with the light. You didn't have the right screw or something, and you had to go back, get it, and then you came back, and then you realised you'd forgotten something else.
Yeah.
It was like one tiny little thing.
I think it was like literally like a tiny little screw. Like that. It was like, I brought everything apart from that. I was like, right, I'm going to go back home and get this.
You looked so upset.
I was so upset, man, because I went back, came back, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot this other thing. I was like, I cannot believe it.
But we made it. But
We got it. Yeah, it's good, man. So that was for Lady, wasn't it?
yeah, that's for the second single, so that'll be coming out
That's
after.
a while away.
Yeah, I'm so excited to release it, because first music video I've done. It's
Is it?
yeah, well, yeah,
Right?
it's proper music video.
Yeah.
And just like put so much effort. I just never realized how much time
Yeah,
it
man.
takes every stage. You know, like that's not even writing music. That's just purely visual.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm talking to you like you don't know it. So like music videos, right? It takes
It's
ages.
quite difficult to do, right? But
Turn the camera.
yeah, there's so many elements to it though as well, because it's like, it's like lighting, filming, color grading, editing. There's like just so many different branches, and there's people that will just do that one thing for their entire life.
I know.
So yeah, it's been an interesting journey for me, because I've obviously just had to learn a bit of everything and kind of just like figure it out as we're going along.
But coming out from the music standpoint, that's got to be like a huge, because
definitely.
I think like just getting it, just being like a really avid consumer of music, and just appreciating music videos and how it actually works with the music. Like I'm sure, just like having played an instrument and been on the other side of it so much, I can't imagine there's that many people who've been in both camps.
Yeah,
not to blow your horn too much, but
well, it definitely helped, man, in terms of like rhythmic understanding and stuff like that. Particularly in the early days, was just like in terms of like editing, like that was like kind of the fallback, and then you kind of learn this other nuance of. Because even just like things like where the cut is, in terms of like it can be like a few frames in front or behind, and that makes a huge like emotional difference.
We realised that.
Yeah, man.
We were like, if we just had a little bit, if we'd had a second more of that shot, it would have been perfect to lead on to the next one.
Yeah. Just little things like that. There was a really interesting video I watched a few months ago about this guy talking about just video editing and stuff like that. And there's this guy, I cannot remember what his name is. He used to edit films back in the 50s for, what's his name? Cannot remember. The guy that did Citizen Kane and stuff like that. So,
Cliff. Oh no, what's his name?
The famous director, British. Anyway, but he was talking about. So his he edits to when people blink.
Really?
So like cuts and stuff happen. Yeah, when when there's a blink or anything like that, that's where he does the cuts. So I've taken that element of things. So when you like hear a beat like that, it's not about cutting it on the beat, it's about cutting afterwards. Like, so you imagine if you hear like that, you don't blink straight away, you blink
a bit
momentarily afterwards. So that's like kind of the most natural. That's what it is. Like, it's basically imagining like the human eye is like, right, you would blink there or you blink there, and that's where you do the cuts.
Blinking. I'm sorry if all my stories are wrong and unfounded, but I heard another story.
Go on, Dan.
Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Someone asked him, how do you act with such high level of intensity? And he said when he was a kid, he used to practice. He used to do like staring competitions with his friends. And he would always win, so he would be the last one to blink. And it's crazy, if you watch him in some scenes, he just doesn't blink. He just stares into the camera for like 5 minutes without blinking, because he's, you know, Quentin Tarantino, there's like quite long scenes, long shots, and it's crazy like watching it. So now
just constantly
constantly anyone I'm talking to, it's really interesting.
Well, that's the thing that like people like focus on. So they've done studies where basically they put like motion trackers on people's eyes and they make them watch certain videos of stuff
Right.
to see what they look at in the image.
Yeah.
And people always look at the eyes. That's like the gateway to the soul.
Do you look? Where do you look when you're? Because when I'm looking at you, I'm kind of looking in between your eyes.
Yeah, it's like sort of around here.
I pick an eye, man.
Do you?
Yeah.
You pick one.
Yeah.
I normally put the forehead.
What if you're looking at a chameleon? If you're looking at one eye, you might be.
Honestly, I'm not. I'll see what happens when I get in that
I'll let you
situation.
know.
Yeah,
About these
I'll get back
things.
to you.
You'll be
Yeah,
ready.
think about it. Absolutely.
Are we ready?
Yeah, man. It's fascinating. I could talk for fucking hours about it, but you know.
Everyone kind of wants to be an actor, don't they? Like
Everyone.
fantasizes about it.
Until I tried, and I was like, okay, wait. The thing is, like, at one point I was a little kid, I'm going to play guitar and see what happens. It sort of like worked out or whatever. And then I was putting my back as well, would have acting worked out? Had I like, and I was like, no, I don't think so.
What about art? That cat drawing was.
No, honestly, man, that wasn't my best work.
Yeah,
Crack me up.
I'm pretty good. I did quite a lot of drawing. That was one of my first like real hobbies.
So funny.
I'm glad you liked
Just your
it.
face.
Yeah, just like. Did you notice like the pile of other drawings as well?
No, I didn't. I just
If
know
you
your
look
art
back,
supplies. You had so many pencils. And
Yeah,
just
exactly.
just one line.
cat drawing. It wasn't even a cat rib. It's like this line piece.
You were like all these ones for like shading and like cross. Yeah, all these great techniques, and you just had this one line. It was so good.
Yeah.
I loved. Yeah, man, I could talk for hours about just your intro videos. Yeah.
I think we want
see more.
to do more like. I definitely want to get into more doing like sketches and like just like stupid stuff like that,
So
man.
funny.
Because it's just fun, and also it's like just a good practice tool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to like learn how to.
But it looks really, because I don't think it would be as funny if it didn't look like really nice, because I don't know what you've done. The lighting, beautiful. Like, it's really, it looks really nice as well as it being funny, and it kind of like draws your eye to it.
Yeah.
But then you also are laughing at what's going on.
Definitely kind of wanted to go with like a more kind of 70s, 80s sitcom kind of vibe for it. It's like the sort of floating head things and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was fun. But yeah, I think we're going to get into doing more sketches and things like that.
Cannot wait. You've got a quite a good like Monty Python-esque group. So
Yeah,
I mean,
clowns.
we're we're just not very serious people at all. That's why it's great doing this stuff as well. Though, 'cause it's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's great, man. It's all good.
This is the first time anyone's ever asked me about my, so many things. Writing technique.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to say.
But this is what I like about the podcast thing, because like there's not many occasions in life where you can like actually just sit across from someone and you're basically forced to talk for like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Because like if you like just chatting to someone in a bar, remember that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can have your like short little tidbits.
You just go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and then you can
Never come back.
You never come back. They never do come back, do they? There I am, waiting.
Drawing cats.
Yeah, exactly.
passing the time. But yeah, it forces you to like just sort of just dig deep. Do you know what I mean? And like really get to understand people. And I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm like a massive conversationalist, but it forces me to just
Well, I always thought I was an introvert, and I always, I like my own space, whatever. But then I did one of those, the Myers-Briggs. What is it?
What's
Is
that?
the name? It's like the personality test where you get a 4-letter. So you just basically answer a bunch of questions. They're all like on a scale, so it's like 1 to like strongly agree, strongly disagree, and it's like questions like, do you put your friends first or career first, and stuff like that. And then it's like 50 questions or something. and then at the end of it, it gives you a sort of personality type. And apparently, I'm an extrovert, so I get energy from people, and I was quite like, ooh. And I did it maybe 2 or 3 times just to see, and I got the same thing each time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I completely forgot what the questions were. And all my it said I was like a really horrible person. Like I didn't. The personality was really horrible. It was like all the jobs that, because it gives you like careers that you'd be good for and stuff.
Oh right.
And all of my, there was like nothing artistic at all. It was all like, yeah, just nothing I would be remotely interested in doing. And it's sort of, because it sort of says nice things about everyone's personality.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the least nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember what letters it. Oh yeah.
What's it called? The Myers.
It's called Myers-Briggs.
Try this out. It sounds.
Yeah, and here's another fake fact for you. It's probably fake. Apparently, they use it to hire people in some cases. So like they don't want the same. You know, they want someone who's like a leader, and then they want people who are good at sort of following instructions and stuff. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I've probably just chatted so much bullshit.
Hey, mate, honestly, that's what this is for. It's just talking bollocks.
Like,
It's
someone...
fine.
Yeah, I'm going to look all this stuff up afterwards and be like, wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, but...
That's funny that it's saying that yeah.
Because I always thought, you know, I'm a musician. I like sitting in a cave, you know,
Yeah.
playing guitar and writing music. And you know, like I don't really drink loads. I wouldn't describe myself as someone who's like outgoing.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm like.
You're not shy though.
I'm not a hermit, but I don't also like going out all the time. So, I was quite surprised. Yeah.
I always thought I think if you're an extrovert, it's where like you take your energy from. So like how much does being in a social group just deplete your energy? So you have to go off and recharge, and the only way you can. And then some people are the opposite, where they just feel like out of it unless they can go be around people, and like being around people is how they recharge.
Yeah.
So
What are you?
I'd definitely introvert, man. Like
Introvert.
probably pretty classic introvert. Yeah, because if I spend too long at a party, so now I've just got to go off and do my own thing for a bit and then come back.
You're really. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have definitely thought you were an extrovert because you always seem to be with people. Like you always seem to be in social situations.
Yeah, but then maybe I'm pretty good at sneaking off. Do you know what I mean?
Where's Matt?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a bit like when I was doing all the après ski and stuff. I would literally just go after like take 10 minutes, just go for a walk or something, just because I'd just be so like, oh my.
Yeah.
But,
You say skiing?
yeah, that like après ski, like you know, like the.
That sounds intense, though.
Yeah, that was particularly intense. To be fair, drunk rich people.
I think that's fair. I
Yeah.
think most extroverts would also need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From heavy drinking and skiing really fast.
all the time. Yeah, just rolling down hills. Yeah, I don't know. It is a really funny one because you try and place people, I guess, don't you? Like, everyone probably naturally like I would probably call Brad like an extrovert.
Yeah, what?
Just like, but I don't know how often people get it right about themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or how many people actually
I was
listen.
really surprised when I did this. I was like, that is so not what. It was weird. I was like, that's so not what I thought it was. And then it gives you like a description. It describes you, and I was like, oh, that is actually
That's me.
the way I
They
think
got me.
about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like kind of like the horoscope thing though, you know, like it's kind of applicable. Try and make it widely applicable to sort of you can see bits of yourself. And,
Well, it was weird because I was, you know, Anna and Matt Sanderson.
Yeah.
It was a gig.
Oh right, okay.
We were in Germany, and I think someone told me about it, or someone was like trying to get me to do it. And Anna said before we did it, I remember this so clearly. Oh, I bet I'm the same as Matt. And I was like, what? No, you're not. Like, you're so different.
No, definitely not.
They were exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah, they got the same thing. But she called that before, and then so she obviously sort of.
Maybe she'd done it before.
Well, maybe, but like,
Okay.
I don't think Matt had done it before, so. I don't think me and Matt had done it, and then when I got mine, I like didn't want to show them.
Embarrassed.
Absolute dick. I'm like, oh, go home. I don't want you on this gig anymore. Yeah, I haven't met anyone who's got the same as me. Because I know quite a few people have done it since, and I've never met anyone who's got the same. I'm quite intrigued.
You're super special, are you, mate? Super unique.
Super unique guy. Yeah.
China.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a go.
It's quite interesting. Read it. I mean,
How long does it take to do? So, like
10 minutes.
Might do it after this.
You've got the time. I mean,
Got all the time in the bloody
yeah. I mean, I don't know whether it's like, accurate. Really, it is a bit of fun. I think.
All right. Well, give it a go.
But I was quite like, oh my god, because I was reading other people's and being like, yeah, that's definitely not me. Like my one was definitely mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was definitely describing me. So. I'm gonna find out what it is and I'm gonna message you what my letters are.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a go, man. I'm gonna give this a go. You know what? I think that's good, isn't it? I think we've done all right there, chaps.
We've talked about so much. Shit.
Honestly, man, we have talked a lot of. This has been quite an exploration of many topics. It's been wonderful. For those of you that have enjoyed this at home and have enjoyed Dan's factual rambling,
Boring.
Dan, do you want to remind people at home where they can find your music?
I just forgot why I was here for a minute.
Tell it into the old camera there.
You can find me at Danny Addison Music on Instagram, Danny Addison Music on Facebook, and Danny Addison on Spotify. If you liked what you heard, and if you don't, just stream it. Just have it on in the background because
do you a favour, man.
Streams are great.
Yeah.
I love streams.
Oh, we have okay. Let's hear a question.
Oh, they're questions.
We have an audience watching, so yeah. Sometimes we have questions.
I was actually really slow on that, and I had some wrong settings on my desk, and I said something earlier, and I thought you'd ignored me, but.
It's like James is not important.
I got it wrong.
I bet this is my mum.
Sorry, Kablasarka.
Okay, let's hear it.
Have you seen Bridgerton on Netflix?
Bridgerton.
Heard all about it.
That's the period drama, isn't it? Kind of thing.
I've never even heard of it. I don't. It's not the chess one, is it? That everyone's talking.
No, that is good. Queen's Gambit. I haven't.
Bridgerton. No.
Is this a question for who? Is this a question?
I think it's for everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Have you?
No,
I've actually posted back when you were talking about Mindhunter.
Oh, that was a while ago.
So I'm very sorry. That's my fault.
Whoever asked that. Might not even be watching anymore.
Probably watch it in the next 2
Nope. No, haven't seen it. But thank you for asking a question. Always appreciated. I think we're going to wrap it up there. If you enjoyed this, we're running it on a donation basis. So if you go on the Twitch chat, you can find a donate link. You can pay as much or as little as you want. It just helps us run this stuff. Please follow us on our social media, which is on RecRooms, and follow us on YouTube. This episode is going to be going out on Saturday on YouTube and on Spotify, so you can watch it all again. And then whilst you're on Spotify, definitely go and check out Dan's music. And he's got a new EP, which is going to be. Honestly, I've heard a couple of the tracks of it, and it sounds fucking awesome. So please go and check this man's music out because he needs more recognition.
Please.
More recognition.
That face.
Look at that beautiful face. Come on, Steve. Come on. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, I believe we have Ashley Garrett coming in, which is going to be awesome.
I'm going to send in some questions for him.
Do, man.
Got a lot of questions for Ashley Garrett.
Right, Dan, if you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, what would it be?
Fan-bloody-tastic.
I like it.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here, man. It's been great.
I am so wired. I'm trying to control.
Calm down. Matt, 3 words for this podcast.
Dan doesn't lie.
Dan does not lie.
Oh,
we'll see. We'll check the facts later.
All right. Yeah.
Maybe what I'll do on the YouTube edit is just like every time Dan says a lie, I'll just have like it's like a little disclaimer.
Right. I went round last thing. I went round a friend's house, a very old friend of mine who I've known since I was about 5, and I said something just while I was in the house, and his mum said, "Oh, is that a Dan fact?" And I went, "Oh, what?" And she was like, "Oh, a Dan fact." I was like, "No, I don't. I don't know." And she's like, just stuff that isn't true. And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
It's just a thing. I just apparently, when I was little, or maybe even now, just say things that I think are true. Because I do think they're true. That is genuinely something.
Even if they're not true, it was very entertaining nonetheless, mate.
I read it on Facebook.
It's got to be true.
It's got to be true, right?
Yeah, everything on the internet's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, if I was going to sum this podcast up in 3 words, I would say Dan is fantastic.
Oh.
Maybe say Dantastic, actually.
You've whittled it down to 2.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to us on our channels. Follow Dan. We're going to be back next week with Asher Garrett. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Woo.